All right, a little credit where credit's due. The Lotus Eaters podcast, or podcast of the Lotus Eaters, did a thing where they went over some article someone wrote about how wokeness even started. And this is one of these where let's give credit where credit's due. That Sargon found this fantastic article that went over relatively recent history. But then beyond that, the best part about it is if you would think about, you're like, oh yeah, Tumblrisms. And then you think, the moment you say Tumblrisms, whose voice do you hear in your head? That's right, chat. Jim Medicare. And so it's kind of a funny irony after all these years of anyone, like these two things coming together where it was a great episode, really, a great little short that the podcast of the Lotus Eaters did, where they went over how this writer actually goes into the origin of the term problematic being a Tumblrism. And I've forgotten that it was a Tumblrism from Tumblerinas and Tumbleristas. And I was like sitting back, like remembering, like, yeah, Tumblr was kind of the bomb. The T in tumblers was for titties. That's what I remember thinking this and joking around with my friend to the point where it's like, he's like, by the way, you've seen that blah, blah, blah has a Tumblr. I'm like, really? Said, you want to talk about some titties? And so sure enough, there's like some young lady that, you end up knowing, butt naked on her Tumblr. And so problematic coming from Tumblrisms. And so I thought it was actually really fascinating where this writer went with it, because this writer then got into the fandom of Glee, a thing that I would have never known anything about because I hate most musical theater. Generally, I'm not fond of theater, and I'm extremely resentful of almost all thespians. I find stage actors and thespians and people who are especially into musicals some of the more irritating people possibly imaginable. And also that then they'll have like, and what was interesting is the fact that this writer was bringing up then this whole thing, like this writer wrote in detail about all the characters from Glee that had this huge fandom on Tumblr way back in the day, and what all these characters kind of just went through the characters. Suddenly, problematic, woke bullshit suddenly makes sense. Because as they're going through every character in Glee was basically had some serious fucking personal issue that then they felt they were the most oppressed person in the world for. So Glee ended up creating then this fandom of people who think they're constantly oppressed because of their personal issues. That if only people would treat them and their personal issues more seriously and respect their pronouns, then they would feel better. Everything would be better, but nope, the world's too oppressive and won't help them with their personal problems. With, of course, the misunderstanding that, well, because that's a personal problem and it ain't nobody else's problem. That's why you need a mommy and a daddy who will fucking help you with your fucking personality issues. And so that was kind of the thing that I didn't even realize Glee had this powerful effect. And I just want to give credit where credit's due, because I would say people should take a listen to that episode, because the writing that this person did, the historical part of it, was actually very interesting. And I just want to recommend it highly. Right, later.